see a massive volatility in the oil prices. So thanks those who have joined. Please like. Thank you for your support. Please like the same if you are watching. All right. We'll go through this wonderful research by this is the research actually about highlighting some of the things which is happening at the moment. What about more historically? Okay, we'll see the last one, which is about all years. So starting from 1946 onwards, I think. Yeah, you see, very interesting, right? Even in 1980, it was quite high. It was 140k, 140. So that is again very interesting. Okay, we'll go through this wonderful paper by IEA, which is a research agency on the oil market, and they have just published last month about the oil crisis, and we will see the highlights from that. The growth in oil demand continues to decelerate, weighed down by the renewed Chinese lockdown, blah, blah, blah. I think this is from the previous month because the demand seems to have increased, right? But it's also fluctuating, right? This is partly offset by large scale switching from gas to oil, estimated to average 700. World oil demand is forecast to rise by 2 MD by D in 2 million barrel by day. That's what I understand in 2020, and this much by 2030, marginally lower than last month's report. So the production is also low, right? The world oil production rose 790 kb by D in August 201, which is a strong recovery in Libya and smaller gains from Saudi Arabia and UAE, offset by losses in Nigeria, Kazakhstan and Russia. From August through December, growth is forecast to slow. Persistent demand weakness in China considerably slowed the pace of a summer ramp-up in refining activity after reaching the post-COVID peak in August. Russian total oil export rose by, okay, so that's one good thing, is that now more and more countries are buying Russian oil, not listening to the sanction by the US and European countries. Also, the gap is now being filled by Iran and Norway, Saudi Arabia. Which country? Oh, this is 2020. Are there still lockdowns in China? Yeah. So here you see the oil production for the major oil producing countries in the last few months. Okay, this is a supply, right? You see an increase for some of the countries, for example, Saudi Arabia, Nigeria, Iran, Iraq, but some countries where you see also a negative growth. By year. So this is increase by year, you see in the last 70 years, but let's just see for the last 20 years. You see some years it's very volatile, right, in the last 20 years. So most of the rates are after 1980, 1990. Otherwise it was mostly increasing. I think what was the year when it went up to 160? In 17 there was a oil crisis. Yes, I think there was a massive inflation also that time in the US. So the oil crisis of 1970, you can see. Energy crisis, right? I think there's a Wikipedia place. That was in 1970s, right? The 1970 energy crisis occurred when the Western world, particularly United States, Canada, Western Europe, Australia, New Zealand, faced substantial petroleum shortage as well as elevated prices. The two worst crises of this period were in 1917 3 oil crisis and 1979 oil crisis, when I think it was some war related and Iranian revolution triggered interruption of the Middle Eastern oil. So they could not get oil from Iran because there was some revolution going on. Yeah, the crisis began to unfold as petroleum production in the United States and other parts of the world picked in the 1960s and 1970s. Yeah, I think that caused inflation also. Stagflation, actually. Stagflation is where you have lower growth as well as high inflation, which is not seen actually in normal times, but that was in 70s. It was observed in the US economy. There's a huge, and that exactly is what this part is. This one, 160-70% increase, I think, in 1973. Wow. This is about president, as in the US. Okay. The highest being during the Obama times. Okay. But I think it is more correlation. It has nothing to do with causation. All right.